going to let this play out. It's an appropriate song for what I'm going to talk about right now. So, I was watching some stuff online and I was listening to some things, and there's a comment that is being made a lot, and it seems to be by certain MMA journalists, certain journalists in professional wrestling, certain journalists who cover sports, most notably Jim Rome. And I can't think of the MMA journalists. I didn't hear this comment from Ariel Helwani, but there was a journalist on his show that made the same remark. And Jim Rome made this remark, and I want to address it because it really gets under my skin. And as I said before, look, don't care who you are anymore. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I called out Jim Ross when he made remarks. I'll call out anyone else. And I don't care if you're all the way in Atlanta or wherever you actually are from, or if you're right outside my door. I will say the same thing to you. I won't flinch. I won't stammer. I won't stutter. I will say it. And the comment that was made by Jim Rome, he had on his show Ronda Rousey and he had two other people. And they were going through a variety of topics. And then they talked about steroid usage. No, he didn't condone it or say, oh, that we should be doing it. Although there was one guy trying to play devil's advocate, really on the side of, yeah, we should do it more and more. But then there was the remark that Jim Rome made, and I've heard this remark being made before quite a few times by a lot of other people. So it looks like I'm picking on Jim Rome, and I mean, does he care? No. Listen, I'm just a pipsqueak on YouTube of a channel, but I have a camera and I have a voice, and I'm going to hopefully be the one that says something out there about this. Now, he made this remark about fans not caring whether or not the people are taking performance enhancers, illegal performance enhancers, steroids and things of that such nature. They just want to see home runs. They just want to see this. Ken Shamrock made that remark. They want home runs, baby. They don't care. And Jim Rome kind of said the same thing about, oh, fans don't care. They just want to see, they don't care what the guys are on, da-da-da-da. And it seems to be this perception that sports athletes and sports journalists are bringing out there that apparently fans don't care. And thank God Ronda Rousey, of all people, said something in response to that. And me as a fan, I want to say something in response to that. Now, I do care whether or not people that I am watching are taking things that are going to do them harm, period. And steroids can do you some harm. We do know that. And I'll tell you one of the things that really hit it home for me a few years back. And this is professional wrestling we're talking about. When Eddie Guerrero passed away, it was a problem with his heart. When they did the autopsy results, and they did the, when they kind of look at the causes, when they looked at his internal organs, they noted that his heart and some of his organs had enlarged due to the things that he'd been taking, and that he'd taken some steroids that had made his heart bigger unintentionally, and he had arteries that were not, his heart was too big for his body, the arteries couldn't pump enough blood in it. He wound up having a real bad problem with his valves, and it was linked in somewhat cases to his steroid usage. When the thing with Chris Benoit happened, and we read about, all these horrible stories in pro wrestling with these athletes, and especially these ones that are taking steroids, and I think that steroids was a factor. I'm not saying it's not, I'm not ruling it. I think it was a factor in the Chris Benoit thing. And you hear about how he was behaving in the last couple of years, and you hear all these stories about guys on pills, on somas, on steroids, on all kinds of things. That does bother me, because you know what? Screw pro wrestling and actually seeing what we're going to see right now, or screw MMA and not getting to see the fight. That's someone's life right there, and I do have a care and I do value for human life. So when I hear about people taking things that they shouldn't be taking because they want to hit a home run, or they want that push, or they want to win that UFC championship, or they want to go forward in boxing and be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and they're taking something that's going to compromise their health, I do care about that. And I do get pissed off, actually. I mean, on the other scale, yeah, I do get pissed off. When the Alistair Overeem and Junior Dos Santos fight was scrapped last year because of the stuff with Alistair Overeem, I wasn't happy. Like, I was not happy about that. I was quite pissed off. You ruined a main event. You've ruined a show. You've ruined this. That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. And you've got to re-establish your good faith with us. And I'm not like, oh, well, it's back now. Ha! Alistair's back. Ha! All long and forgotten. No, it's not. There's a reason why, if you know me in person, and one of my subs can tell you this, you mention Lance Armstrong in front of me, you're going to see a very different side of me. I'm going to go off like a son of a... I can't finish the word. 3-year-olds just running around. But you know you get the drift. I don't think you should be taking things that are going to compromise your health. And everyone's going to say, oh, well, competing in combat sports compromises your health. Yeah, but steroids is far worse. Taking other things, performance enhancers that are going to shut down your natural progression of testosterone or do things to you that are going to harm you in the long run. I have a problem with that. I do have a problem with that. And I do care about things like that. I watched Mark Kerr, The Smashing Machine. If you've never seen that documentary, I encourage everyone to go out there and watch it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. But really, if you can buy it, I would say buy it. And you watch that and you see the things that he's doing to his body. You see a documentary like that, you do begin to care. When you hear about these guys being left with nothing afterwards because they've blown all their money on what they've been taking and they're just a shell of them for themselves, I do care about that. And I don't know why these people are trying to justify, oh, well, the fans don't care, they just want to see home runs. The fans don't care, they just want to see the fights. The fans don't care, they just want to see the pushes. I'm challenging that right now, and I'm going to call it what it is, bullshit. That's just my opinion. I think it's bullshit. I think it's nonsense. I think that some users are actually using it as a reason to justify why they can do it. And then you've got these journalists coming out there saying these things. I don't agree. Listen, Jim Rome, I like your show, but I don't care. I don't agree with you. Listen, what are you going to do? Come out there and not see this video? No, I don't care. I don't agree with that statement. And it's just something I wanted to get off my chest. It actually wasn't the video I had planned. I actually had a different video planned today, and then I saw that and I just felt like I had to come out here and talk about that. Guys, I'm going to get going. I'm going to wrap up. That song, by the way, was Wale, Varsity Blues. It felt like an appropriate song to play. If you've never heard it before, have a listen to it. It's pretty good. One of the only new rappers that I actually like now anyways. So I'm going to head out. Got stuff to do. Guys, you write your comments. What do you think about this statement that's being made by a lot of athletes and journalists and people about fans not caring whether or not someone's on steroids? Are you one of those fans? Or are you one of those fans that are like me that does care about that kind of stuff? Let me know what you think. I'm going to head out. I've got to have my tea and do some other things. Take care, and if you haven't already, comment, rate, subscribe, and peace.